Welcome back. Today's video might truly change your life. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the Lincoln Wheat Penny, exploring its iconic design, shocking hidden history, and the incredible secrets that have turned ordinary-looking pennies into priceless treasures. As we uncover the most valuable, most expensive, and ultra-rare U.S. coins, we'll reveal the top 5 Lincoln Wheat pennies that every collector dreams of finding. These real copper coins, with their natural brown color and simple round shape, often come with no mint mark and appear dirty, worn, and completely ordinary. But don't be fooled, behind their rough appearance lies unbelievable value. Some of these humble pennies can be worth thousands of dollars, and in the rarest cases, even millions. So before you spend that old coin sitting in your drawer or wallet, make sure you watch till the end, because you might be holding a hidden fortune without even realizing it. Now let's begin with our first legendary coin. In the world of American coin collecting, few coins capture the imagination quite like the Lincoln Wheat Penny, a tiny copper circle that has survived wars, economic collapses, and the changing face of the nation. And among these, the 1935 no-mint mark wheat penny stands as a quiet witness to history, a coin that seems ordinary at first glance, yet carries deeper stories, forgotten secrets, and a legacy that continues to fascinate collectors even today. This penny, struck in Philadelphia during the heart of the Great Depression, comes from a time when Americans valued every cent they had. People held their coins tightly, and the government produced millions of copper cents to keep the economy moving. Because of this, the 1935 wheat penny became a coin that passed through the hands of farmers, factory workers, soldiers, and schoolchildren, each leaving behind fingerprints of history. The no-mint mark on this coin tells its own story. Philadelphia, the oldest mint in the country, traditionally produced coins without a letter mark. So when you hold a 1935 penny with no mint mark, you're holding a piece made in America's very first coin-making city, the birthplace of U.S. currency, where innovation, tradition, and craftsmanship worked together to produce coins that would travel from coast to coast. The color of the coin, that deep, earthy brown, is the natural aging of real copper. Unlike modern pennies coated with zinc, this coin is solid copper, designed to last for generations. The brown tones, the darker spots, even the dirty patches all tell the truth. This coin lived a real life. It saw pockets, cash registers, dusty drawers, and endless journeys, all before finding its way into your hands today. Collectors love these coins not because they are rare in number, but because they belong to a world that no longer exists. The 1930s were marked by struggle, hope, and transformation. Coins from this era are more than metal, they are emotional artifacts. They connect us to ancestors we never met, to streets we never walked, and to moments long gone but never fully forgotten. While the regular 1935 penny is not a $1 million coin, what truly excites collectors are the errors and varieties from this period. The 1930s were full of mechanical challenges at the mint, worn dies, misaligned strikes, double details, and weak impressions. Any 1935 penny with a dramatic minting mistake instantly becomes far more valuable. These errors can transform a common coin into a collector's treasure. And because millions of people today don't understand the difference between a common cent and a rare variety, some believe every old penny is secretly worth a fortune. That misunderstanding creates excitement and mystery, and keeps the Lincoln Wheat Penny in the spotlight. Even experienced collectors admit, you never know when one coin might surprise you. The story of the 1935 penny is also a reminder of how knowledge changes everything. A coin found dirty in a box, dusty in a drawer, or forgotten in a jar might appear worthless. But once someone understands its history, its metal, its age, and its connection to America's past, that coin becomes something more than money. It becomes a collectible artifact. So while this coin may not make you a billionaire overnight, it does have the power to connect you to a deeper world, a world where every small object carries meaning, where copper holds memories, and where even humble pennies have stories worth telling. Collectors don't chase this coin for wealth alone, they chase it for the emotional value, the historical connection, and the thrill of the hunt. And that is why the 1935 Lincoln Wheat Penny continues to capture attention. It is a coin that refuses to fade into the background. A coin that reminds us that history can fit in the palm of your hand. A coin that proves value is not always measured in dollars, sometimes it is measured in legacy. So before you toss aside any old penny, take another look, because the next coin you find might not be worth millions, but it can be priceless in a collector's heart. In the vast universe of American coinage, few coins carry the silent power of history like the 1939 Lincoln Wheat penny. Smooth, copper brown, and aged by time, it may appear simple at first glance, but for collectors, this year holds a special place. This coin came from an era standing on the edge of transformation, when America was rising from one storm and unknowingly walking toward another. The year 1939 marked the final fading shadow of the Great Depression. Families struggled, jobs were scarce, and every penny mattered. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, the birthplace of American currency, struck millions of these copper cents with no mint mark, each one destined to pass through countless hands of workers, soldiers, merchants, and ordinary citizens trying to rebuild their lives. The copper used in this coin tells its own story. This was before wartime shortages, before steel cents, before modern zinc pennies. The 1939 wheat penny is pure American copper, and that deep brown color you see today is the natural patina formed from decades of circulation. Every tiny scratch, stain, and dust mark is a fingerprint of time. Collectors admire this coin for more than its age. They admire it because it represents the final calm before World War II reshaped everything, including American money. Coins from this period are more than currency, they are snapshots of a moment when the country was changing, but people didn't yet realize how quickly life would shift. The design, too, is iconic. Lincoln's portrait on the front, strong yet humble, watches over a nation finding its strength. On the back, the two wheat stalks represent growth, survival, and hope. These classic features give the coin a timeless beauty, making it one of the most collected designs in U.S. history. But what truly gives the 1939 penny its power in the collector world is the possibility of errors. The late 1930s were known for worn dies, doubling issues, misaligned strikes, and weak impressions. Any 1939 penny with a visible minting flaw instantly becomes more valuable. While not every coin is rare, the rare ones hide silently among the ordinary, waiting to be found. This is what makes old pennies so fascinating, not the promise of instant wealth, but the thrill of discovery. Anyone could have a forgotten coin in a box, a drawer, or a jar that turns out to be a desirable collector piece. It may not transform you into a billionaire overnight, but it can offer a moment of surprise and a connection to history that no modern coin can replicate. Every 1939 wheat penny has lived a life. It has traveled across states, pockets, stores, farms, and factories. It has been part of everyday American life during years when the world was still recovering and preparing for a future full of challenges. When you hold this coin, you're not just holding copper, you're holding a survivor. The truly valuable part of this coin lies in its story. Even a worn, dirty, low-grade 1939 penny carries 8 decades of human history. It reminds us that wealth doesn't always come from rarity or price. Sometimes it comes from meaning, legacy, and the human journey captured in something as small as a single cent. So before you discard any old coin from 1939, look again. Inspect its details, its imperfections, its shine beneath the dirt. Because while it may not make you a millionaire instantly, it has the power to connect you to a world long gone, and in the world of collecting, that connection is priceless. The 1939 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than money. It is a piece of America's soul, preserved in copper. In the world of American coin collecting, few years carry as much emotional weight as 1941, a year standing at the edge of global transformation, a year when the United States was moments away from entering World War II. And sitting silently within that history is the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny, a simple copper coin with no mint mark, yet holding a powerful story that continues to captivate collectors across the world. This penny was struck in Philadelphia, the home of America's oldest mint, where coins were crafted with precision and tradition. The absence of a mint mark is not a mistake. It symbolizes Philadelphia's long-standing identity as the mother mint, responsible for the nation's earliest and most iconic coins. Holding a 1941 no-mint mark penny is like holding a direct thread to the birthplace of U.S. currency. The deep brown color of the coin is a natural product of age. This penny was made of real American copper, not plated, not coated, but solid metal pulled from the earth in a time when resources were becoming precious. Over the decades, this copper has darkened, creating shades of chocolate, chestnut, and earth that show the passage of time like wrinkles on a human face. The world of 1941 was uncertain. Europe was engulfed in war. Across the ocean, America watched and wondered what the future would bring. During this tense moment, millions of 1941 pennies were produced, not with extravagance but with purpose. These were the pennies that circulated through the pockets of factory workers, soldiers-to-be, farmers, mothers, and children preparing for a future none of them could predict. The Lincoln wheat penny design had already become a national symbol by 1941. Abraham Lincoln's calm yet determined portrait on the obverse carried a message of resilience. On the reverse, the twin wheat stalks represented agricultural strength, unity, and growth, powerful symbols as the nation prepared for hardship and sacrifice. A 1941 penny in worn or dirty condition tells an even richer story. Every scratch, dent, stain, and dark spot is a silent record of the hands that carried it. Maybe it paid for bread during the early years of rationing. Maybe a soldier flicked it while waiting for a train. Maybe it slipped into a child's piggy bank during uncertain times. These marks are history, not imperfections. What excites collectors most about the 1941 penny is not the regular coin itself, but the possibility of rare minting errors. The early 1940s were known for cracks in dies, doubling issues, and mechanical misalignments in the minting process. Any 1941 penny with visible doubling, distortions, or unusual markings becomes instantly more desirable. A rare error coin from this year can attract strong attention, especially from serious collectors. The true value of the 1941 penny does not lie in imaginary million-dollar claims. It lies in its emotional, historical, and cultural significance. It is a coin that survived one of the most defining periods in world history. It has lived through 8 decades of change, traveling silently through pockets and drawers, carrying stories that we can never fully know, yet can feel deeply with every look. Collectors treasure the 1941 penny because it stands as the final breath before a new era. In 1942, copper would become a strategic wartime metal. By 1943, pennies would be made from steel. So the 1941 copper penny represents the last calm moment before the nation shifted into full wartime production, a symbolic final echo of normal life before everything changed. This penny also plays a key role in teaching new collectors about the beauty of numismatics. It shows that not every valuable coin shines. Sometimes the most meaningful treasures come in dirty, worn, or forgotten condition. The magic lies not in the metal alone, but in the mystery, the survival, and the story behind it. Imagine the journeys this coin has taken, through dusty general stores, across wooden counters, through pockets filled with ration coupons, across bus seats, through the trenches of American life. Every mile it has traveled makes it more than a coin. It becomes a storyteller, carrying whispers of the past into your hands. Even though the 1941 penny may not make anyone an overnight billionaire, it can offer something far more powerful, a direct connection to a moment in history when every penny truly mattered. For collectors, that connection is priceless. For historians, it is a surviving artifact. For dreamers, it is a small, copper reminder that ordinary objects can hold extraordinary meaning. So before you dismiss that old 1941 penny because it looks dirty or common, look again. Hold it under the light, feel its weight, study its details. You might not be holding $1 million fortune, but you are holding a piece of America's heart, a survivor of history, and a silent witness to one of the most dramatic chapters in human civilization. And that, in the world of numismatics, is a form of value greater than money itself. In the vast world of American coins, few years shine with as much historical emotion as 1944, and within that year, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny stands as a symbol of courage, transformation, and wartime resilience. At first glance it looks like a simple copper coin, brown, worn, and ordinary, but its story carries the weight of an entire nation fighting for freedom. This penny was struck at the Denver Mint, marked with the bold letter D under the date. Denver in the 1940s was a powerhouse of wartime production, where workers were racing against time to supply soldiers overseas. The 1944 D penny is more than money. It is a small metal witness to the rhythm of factories, the heartbeat of a nation, and the sacrifices of millions. What makes this coin so important is the timing of its creation. In 1943, just 1 year earlier, America had produced steel pennies because copper was needed for ammunition. By 1944, the war demanded even more resources, yet the mint returned to copper, recycling wartime materials, melting down old shell casings, and turning instruments of war into coins of hope. This means the copper in a 1944 D penny may not be ordinary at all. It may have once been part of military equipment, battlefield debris, or training ammunition. By transforming those materials into pennies, America turned destruction into daily life, a reminder that even in the darkest times, renewal is possible. The deep brown color of the coin today is more than natural patina, it is a coat of history. Every stain, every patch of darkness, every fingerprint embedded in the metal tells a silent story. This coin has traveled through hands that knew fear, hope, sacrifice, and victory. Millions of these pennies circulated during wartime. People used them to buy food with ration coupons, to save for uncertain futures, or to send letters to soldiers far from home. A 1944 D penny may have passed through a military base, a rural farm, a bustling train station, or a lonely pocket waiting for news from the front lines. Collectors value the 1944 D weak penny not for imaginary fortune but for the emotional gravity it carries. It is a coin connected to a world war, a world where every resource was stretched thin, every family felt the weight of uncertainty, and every coin mattered. It represents a moment when America was fighting not only for victory, but for survival. The possibility of minting errors adds another layer of excitement. The rush of wartime production caused imperfections, doubled details, die cracks, weak strikes, and misaligned presses. A 1944 D penny with such an error instantly draws attention from collectors, not because of exaggerated value but because it represents a rare mechanical slip during a historic chapter. Even a dirty, worn-out 1944 D penny holds value in its story. Many collectors prefer these imperfect coins because they show the marks of real life. They look like survivors, evidence of the chaos of war, the endurance of time, and the resilience of metal that continues to outlive generations. Every time someone holds a 1944 D penny, they are holding a piece of America's wartime heart. They hold a moment when factories roared day and night, when families prayed for their loved ones, when dreams were put on hold, and when every small object, even a penny, carried significance. For new collectors, this coin is a perfect doorway into numismatics. It teaches that value is not measured by shine, but by soul. Not by price, but by history. Not by rarity alone, but by the journey the coin has taken across decades of human life. The 1944 D Lincoln Wheat penny reminds us that some of the greatest treasures are not the ones locked behind glass or sold for unbelievable amounts. They are the ones that carry memories of people we never knew, moments we never lived, and stories carved into copper by the passage of time. So before you underestimate that old 1944 D penny lying forgotten in a drawer or jar, look at it again. Feel its weight. Observe its color. Imagine its journey. It may not make you a billionaire overnight, but what it does offer is something far more powerful, a direct, unbroken connection to the courage, struggle, and victory of an era that changed the world forever. And in the world of collecting, that connection is priceless. The 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny stands as one of the most misunderstood, underestimated, and shockingly powerful coins in American history. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a simple brown copper circle, the kind millions of people toss into drawers, jars, pockets, and floorboards without a second thought. But hidden within this ordinary-looking penny is a story of minting chaos, forgotten experiments, rare mistakes, and unimaginable value. A story that has turned average Americans into overnight millionaires just by holding on to a coin they once believed was worthless. The year 1971 was filled with economic uncertainty in the United States. Inflation was rising, metal prices were shifting, and the U.S. Mint was under enormous pressure to pump out billions of coins to fuel a rapidly growing, cash-powered economy. In that immense pressure cooker, the Philadelphia Mint produced countless Lincoln pennies without any mint mark, and among those billions, a handful emerged with mysterious traits, strange errors, and rare characteristics that collectors today are willing to pay life-changing amounts of money for. The 1971 no-mint mark penny was supposed to be a simple, everyday coin. But the reality was far from simple. Hidden beneath layers of copper, buried within ordinary aging, were varieties so rare that even experienced collectors didn't recognize them for decades. Some coins carried double designs that shimmered like ghost images. Others were struck on wrong metal planchets, creating lighter, thinner, or slightly off-colored pennies. Some displayed odd cracks, die breaks, or misaligned strikes, each one a fingerprint of the exact chaotic moment it was born in the mint. One of the biggest secrets of the 1971 no-mint mark penny lies in the copper itself. These coins were made using 95% pure copper, giving them a warm, earthy brown color that darkened beautifully over time. Unlike modern pennies that lose their value almost instantly, the copper in these 1971 pennies gives them a built-in foundation of worth. But for rare specimens, the value goes far beyond metal. It enters the world of staggering collector demand, where flaws become masterpieces and imperfections transform into treasures. Collectors began noticing a strange pattern with 1971 pennies years later. Some appeared to have blurry or doubled letters in God We Trust, others showed unusual depth on the date, and a few even had faint doubling around Lincoln's eye, giving him a haunting, lifelike expression. These double die varieties, created by tiny shifts during die creation, became some of the most sought-after modern penny errors ever discovered. A strong, clear doubling on a no-mint mark 1971 penny can command breathtaking prices, even crossing into six-figure territory in the right condition. Even more shocking are the 1971 pennies struck on wrong planchets, a rare minting accident that happened when leftover metal discs from other coin types slipped into the penny press. Some 1971 pennies were struck on dime planchets, giving them a different weight and a strange, silvery copper appearance. Others were struck on foreign planchets or experimental blanks that the mint occasionally used during testing phases. These coins are so rare that collectors fight tooth and nail for a chance to own one, often paying prices that seem impossible for a coin originally worth just 1 cent. The beauty of the 1971 penny lies in its deceptive simplicity. Many of the most valuable examples today are found in dirty, worn, or aged condition, coins that someone might easily dismiss as pocket change. A rare error does not disappear with dirt. A doubled die does not vanish with scratches. A wrong planchet strike does not stop being a treasure simply because it has survived decades of circulation. That's the magic of this coin. Its fortune-changing power hides beneath a surface that fools the average eye. Over time, as treasure hunters and coin experts dug deeper into 1970s mint production, they uncovered a shocking truth: the early 1970s were one of the most inconsistent, unpredictable minting periods in modern American coin history. Machines were overworked, dies broke faster, and quality control slipped in dramatic ways. The 1971 penny became a symbol of that unpredictable era. Its varieties, errors, and anomalies are countless, making it one of the most exciting coins to examine, search for, and discover in pocket change even today. The Philadelphia Mint, responsible for all no-mint mark pennies, was overwhelmed in 1971. Thousands of dies were used and reused, polished, reshaped, and repaired during production. This led to unique surface textures, unusual metal flow marks, and rare die cracks that collectors now call lightning strikes. A single dramatic crack across Lincoln's portrait or the reverse wheatstock design can send the value of a penny skyrocketing, simply because it documents a moment of mechanical chaos frozen forever in copper. Another reason the 1971 no-mint mark penny is so valued today is its symbolic place in history. It was minted during a transitional moment in America, a moment when copper prices were climbing, when the government was debating the future of coinage, and when the penny itself was becoming a subject of national debate. This coin carries that tension, that uncertainty, that shift in the American soul. Owning a rare 1971 penny is like holding a fragment of the nation's financial history in the palm of your hand. As the decades passed, people who unknowingly saved 1971 pennies in jars, drawers, or old wallets began discovering that some of these coins were worth far more than they ever imagined. Stories surfaced of lucky finds in inherited collections, thrift stores, flea markets, and forgotten savings boxes. Each discovery added fuel to the legend of the 1971 penny, the coin that could turn a normal person into a millionaire overnight, simply because they took a moment to look closely at a penny everyone else ignored. Today, the 1971 no-mint mark penny represents one of the most thrilling modern coin hunts in the United States. Its errors range from tiny die varieties to massive minting mistakes that can fetch life-changing prices. Collectors search tirelessly because they know that one single coin, one penny hiding in an old coffee tin or beneath a sofa cushion, could be worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even a lifetime of savings. The possibility of such a discovery keeps the legend alive. So if you ever find a 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, especially one with a deep brown copper glow or even one that looks dusty, dirty, or aged, don't rush to spend it or toss it aside. That little coin may hold the power to rewrite your entire future. It may carry the kind of error, doubling, or rarity that transforms it from a forgotten cent into a million-dollar treasure. Thousands walk past fortune every single day without noticing it, but the wise collector knows that sometimes the smallest coin can carry the largest destiny.